Hello everyone. So just starting a little bit early so that people can hopefully find us. So we'll just hold on for a minute, see if anyone can join us. Hoping that my camera is right. That's better. So I have a new phone. Now Facebook is playing up at the minute. Now I think it doesn't affect the filming, but it's affecting comments. So I may not be able to see your comments live. I think that I can see them after. So if you ask me any questions and I can't answer live, I will come back and look at the video after. So what time are we? We are 11. So let's just hold on a minute, see if anyone finds us. Oh, got one watching. Couple watching. People coming in. Excellent. It's a bit early to be doing this. I know you're probably getting cells all ready for the day still. But I just had some time now and I'm trying to make the most of my day off. Oh, is it raining? I think it's just started raining. Yeah. And me and my partner, hi Sarah, I'm gonna do some baking in a little bit, so I wanted to do it now. Okay, so we'll get started. So today I've been doing a lot of challenges lately. Hi Lorna, our own ones, and challenges all over of pages that I watch, mixed media ones that I watch. So today I'm going to be doing the More Than Words new challenge, their big monthly challenge. So the challenge is to use every day and birds and or bugs. Hi mum. I'm just going to call you later actually. Hope you're okay. Let me know when you're free later on and I'll give you a call. Hello Margaret. Okay, everyone is joining. Yay. So every day I thought you could use the word every day, but also you could maybe interpret that as everyday objects, everyday life. There's lots of ways, and I think this is a really good one every day for the moment because we're learning to find joy in the everyday again. So I'm going to kind of interpret it both ways. So I'm going to be doing another log slice today. I thought because we're using birds and bugs, the kind of natural feel fit really well. Yay, people are finding us now. Excellent. So I'm going to use that. I asked my partner, I said, what colour shall I use today? And he said red. So we're going to be using red. Hello, Jane. I'm seeing all the comments, so it looks like Facebook is fixed. Yay. That is good. So I'm going to be using papers. When he said red, I straight away thought again of this range that I've been using. The Victoriana range from 13 Arts. We have in store, and as soon as we're open again, you can get it. And birds and bugs, I thought of obviously birds, and then I thought of moths and butterflies and things like that, so I wanted to use some of these. This is AB Studio Cosmic Gate Rice paper, and then I had a look through my old stash and I found some really old papers, some Kaiser Craft Christmas paper. This was Letters to Santa collection. Red is really nice, and also from Kaiser Craft, this beautiful foiled paper. This was the Macherie collection, which I think is quite a few years old now. That's the bamboo specialty paper. So I'm going to start by laying down some papers. So this one I thought was a really great background paper. So I'm going to choose a section. Maybe we'll keep to, we should have some of this white in, I think. So what I'll do is I'll flip this over. I'll just draw roughly around the log. I'm not going to do the whole bit. I just want a section. And then I'll tear it so it's not so uniformed. I want a quite rough texture. Okay, so I can just about see my pencil line. And then I'll just tear down because I don't want the whole section. Okay. Ooh, that turned out really nicely. Yay. Okay, that looks good. So that's one piece. So let's use some of the other papers. I want definitely to use this bird, so I'll come back to that in a second. So let's do the same with this paper. We'll move it more to the edge so we don't waste it much. Okay. I'll go more this way this time. That way. Okay, that looks good. Or should we have... No, definitely that way. Okay, so that's that. And then we're going to have this bird as well. I think I'll just go kind of more down. Hi, Anshu. Thanks for joining me, everyone. And we'll just rough this edge up. Try not to lose too much of this edge. This is the pretty foiling. Okay, yeah, right, lovely. So maybe just move these around. I think I'd like a smaller bit of this bird section actually. Okay, right. So that's going to form my kind of base. So before we stick that all down, I'm going to seal the surface because I'm going to use paints and inks. Hi, Debbie. So for the logs, I would usually use gesso for sealing, but on the logs I like to use a soft gloss gel, matte gel I wanted to use, not gloss gel, soft matte gel. Let me get matte gel. Picked up the wrong one. No problem. Soft matte gel. This is the same, so this is medium acrylic transparent, same thing. I just think it gives a better seal for this sort of surface. Why did I pick the tiniest paintbrush? Let's get a bigger one. That'll be there all day trying to do it with that. Okay, so it's just going to seal this wood, ready for anything liquid we want to pop on top, because wood is very porous, so we don't want all our good medium soaking in and being wasted on this wood. Sometimes I like to go onto the edge as well if I'm going to be using waxes or anything like that on the edge, paints. So we'll give a rough coat around the edge as well in case we decide to do that. Not too thick because it will sort of gather on the grains of the wood. I am getting some more of these in. I did a video the other day on my group, Thompson's Craft Supplies group, and everyone liked these. I think it was on the group we did that video. Might have been here on the page actually, and yeah, people really like them. So I have got smaller ones in stock at the moment, but yeah, I'm gonna get some more different sizes in. Right, so that's that. I'm not going to dry that at the minute because I can also at the same time lay these papers down. So I will just go in with a bit more on the top here, just to also stick these papers down at the same time, because this is very sticky, so it's great for collage decoupage, rice papers, tissue papers, that sort of thing. So I can get my papers laid down at the same time. So let's go there, and we can go on the top as well. So we're preparing our paper at the same time for any mediums you want to add. This particular brand I like to water down ever so slightly because it is very thick. I wanted that one over the top, didn't I? Let's lift that back up a second. Not a problem. See, it's time to change our mind. Right, there we go. Now bring this one back in. I forgot I wanted that one on the top. There we go, because it's got the really pretty pattern on that one. And I like this white edge, it just gives a bit more interest. And down here we're going to have bird, I think. We'll have it. The cat is back outside. I can hear him. Meow. Right, there we go. So that's got our base paper layer down. Noisy cat. I wonder if you can hear him on video now. I don't think he's probably that loud. Right, so there we go. That's our base layer. I'm also going to pop some of the rice paper. So with these, I'll just move this out the way a second. You can do is wet your brush. You can cut around them if you want to, but you'll get a nicer finish, a nice soft edge if you just wet your paintbrush in water. Now this will spread out, so not too much, and you just trace around the shape you want to tear out. So rice paper is very strong grains, if that's the right word, in the paper. So it's not like tissue paper where you can tear it quite easily. It is much easier to try to wet it first, then tear it. So carefully now we're going to tear where it's wet, and it should pop out nice and easily now. And this will give us a softer edge to the paper. Being careful not to rip any bits that we want. There we go, so we've got a lovely moth we can use as well. Bring back this paper and decide where we'd like it. Maybe up the top here. Bit more of this, and just brushing that down. Now try not to get it too wet when you're brushing. If you brush too hard or too wet on the colour, you will start to rub the picture away. So try not to be too heavy handed, so we can seal carefully. There we go. Okay, so let's give this a dry. Yeah, they are nice, aren't they, Kasha? Just something different to using a canvas. So it's a shape to start with, but it's got all that lovely natural wood around the edge. So these are proper wood slices, so you've got all the nice grains and that in it as well. Have a bit of tea while I'm waiting. So we are shut at the moment, but we've got a wish list function on the website. So it's thompsonscraftsupplies.com. If you want to create an account, you can then set up a wish list. So if you want to have a browse, see what you're liking, you can pop that in there. And I think when we reopen, we might have an offer code or a discount code or something like that to celebrate being reopened. I'll keep you posted on that. I need to get a newsletter out soon. Keep in touch. Some of those aren't on social media, our customers. They only use the website, so it'd be nice to find out that you're all okay. I do worry about you all, like my little crafty family, so I want to know you're all okay. And also, if there's something you're after that you don't see on there, now's a good time to let me know, because I can start building some orders ready, and as soon as all these restrictions lift, I can get an order put in. I'm building one with my American supplier at the moment, so if there is something, so from brands like Prima, Stamperia, things like this, if there's miscellaneous sort of items you're after, yeah, any Finnabair Prima, I'm looking at that at the minute. Drop me a message. I have restocked Minte, which is on the website. I've got some my brain has gone. No, brain has gone. Mitt form, there we go. Just added some mitt form, some AB Studio restocks, quite a lot, all the new 13 Arts brands. But yeah, have a look, see if there's anything you're after. Right, so this is dry. Next I'm going to go with some stenciling. So somewhere under here, yeah, here we go, called a stencil. This is Prima Finnabair tapestry. So the wish list, when you log in, Debbie, if you scroll to the bottom of the screen, it says wish list, and when you go, you have to be logged in to find your wish list. When you go to the bottom of the screen, it says the word wish list. You click on that, it'll show you your wish list, and when you're in a product, there should be a little heart symbol. If you click on the heart symbol, that will add it to your wish list. Oh, thanks, Heather. Hello. Hi, Jane. No, I already said hi, Jane. You're saying hi, Kasha. Marbles are going. Right, so I'm going to make my own gel now. I told you before that I love to mix impastos with heavy body gel, so I'm going to show you how that works. So impastos are heavy bodied anyway, but to get a really crisp edge, we can mix it with heavy body gel. So this is the heaviest of their gel. So I'll show you. This is 3D gel, the next heaviest. So this has quite a thick body and is very sticky, so I like to use that as adhesive, and you can stencil with that. That does, however, take a while to dry. My partner is having a sneezing fit. But this is heavy body gel. You can see that it is really thick. So we can make our own paste with this. So we take some of this, pop it on our mat, and you can mix your own custom colours. So we could apply this with a texture tool or a palette knife, or like I'm going to do through a stencil. So I'm going to take impasto and poppy red. So remember, these are very pigmented, so we don't need very much at all. And black, pitch black impasto, just a tad, because the red in this is not bright red like the poppy red. So I just want to slightly darken it. And wire gel and not texture paste? Well, texture paste is already pigmented, it's white. So if I were to mix this with that, we would get a pastel tone. Whereas the gel is clear, it doesn't have a colour. So we'll keep the true colour of the paints. So I'm just squishing this together, folding it in to get my colour mixed. Now that is very dark, so I'm going to add a tiny bit more red. Just a little drop. See how small an amount I'm adding? And the colour that gives us is very intense. So you don't have to use the paints as they are. You can actually use them as a watercolor, and this will stretch so far used like that because they're so pigmented. Okay, so I'm gonna just get a little bit of paper to test that on. Let's get a little scrap I just had. That's a nice colour. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay, so I have now created, in effect, my own kind of gloss paint, or yeah, a gel we can spread through. So let's decide where we're going to go. I don't want to go over the bird a bit too much, or too much on the moth. So I want to go more on the bits that are bare or white. So let's cover this section. And I'm not looking for perfection, just wanting to cover sections. I'm not going to go for whole stenciling. Ooh, that looks really nice actually. Okay, and I'm going to go here. There, and I'm going to have some, I want to tie the bird bit in. I don't want to make it separate to the rest of the piece. So I'm being careful of the stenciling I've already done, not to dip the stencil into that and ruin it. I didn't mention at the beginning, sorry, obviously my partner is at home. I don't want him to be bored to death, so the TV is on in the background quietly, just in case you're wondering what that is. Okay, that looks nice. I think I would like to go a little bit onto the moth, just to tie that bit in. Just bring that down a little bit. So I could stop and dry, that would be much easier, but I'm being impatient. I'm getting better at mixing the right amount of pastes and gels. So I just about mixed enough there, so that was good. I hate wasting stuff, especially when it's, you know, your more expensive things. Okay, that looks good. So let's stop and clean this up. Move that out the way. This gel is very, very thick, and when it dries, it is rock solid. So it's used as a great adhesive as well as for doing your custom gels. So if you do not get this off, especially things like stencils, that's it, you'll really have ruined them. It's used to stick really heavy, bulky, awkwardly shaped embellishments as well. So it is very, very strong. So we want to make sure we get that off. And of your hands. There's no, it's not gonna, well, unless you've got extremely sensitive skin or something, I'm not gonna claim to, you know, don't quote me on this, but I've never had any reaction personally to any of these mediums, but it is very strong and sticky, so it will make your skin a bit itchy. So try and get it off your hands as well if you can. I'll just give my hands a wipe. Just spray my hands. Right, okay. Let's bring back that log slice now and give it a dry. So put that out of the way. Those can go out of the way for now. Right, so we've got our base layer down, we've got our papers, we've got the stenciling. We're now going to start building. So I've so far got my bugs and birds, so I've used both. You can use one or the other, or both, it's up to you. And bugs could be any bugs, so ants, ladybirds, whatever it is you like. I've got a moth here. And obviously I've got a bird for a bird. So it could be any bird. Yeah, I really like this theme for the moment. So with the birds, you could think about being caged like a bird, or being set free. You know, once this is all over, it could be really good for a journal, some self-reflection like I did the other day. I am popping this all up on YouTube, all my videos as well. So our YouTube is of the same title, Thompson's Craft Supplies, so do check us out on there. We're also on Instagram, Pinterest. I do need to update the Pinterest, so while this is all going on, that'd be a good time for me to do that, so I'll try and do that as well this week. Yeah, I like this stencil. It gives a different look. So it's gloss finish, so you're gonna get a glossy look. It does dry fairly quick. It just looks wet still. It's got a very high gloss finish, so it's a nice different feel than that of your texture paste. It looks almost like my brain is not working at the moment. Henna, that's what I'm trying to say. Like the henna on your hands. Looks really pretty colour. So let's test. Yeah, we're dry. So it looks wet, but it's just super glossy. Can you see? So that looks really pretty. Right. So what else are we going to add? Right, I pulled out a whole bunch of things. So my idea I had was, so how I was saying about everyday, so I thought about everyday objects. So I've got this brush, which is definitely a goner. I thought I could combine this with a butterfly to have this like a big piece in the middle. So I'm going to need to paint this black first so it goes with that piece. So I'll start with some black gesso, and then I might finish over the top with some impasto black, or I've got the Deco Art fluid acrylic carbon black we have, which is a really nice black. It's a nice dark black. Always sounds silly when I say that, but you'll know what I mean. So I'm going to cover the brush as well, the bristles, everything. So this is a plastic brush. So if I was to just start trying to paint on here with acrylics, it would be quite difficult because they're both kind of plasticky based and it would slip, it wouldn't want to grip. So by putting the gesso on, it's going to be much easier to get other things to stick to this. So I'll hold the tip, being careful here. So if you wanted to use some tweezers, that would be advisable. Being careful of our heat gun. I'll point it down so I don't burn myself. And be careful on bristles of brushes as well, if they're synthetic especially. This is very intensified heat, so it will burn. This is a completely knackered brush anyway, so there's barely any bristles left. Any Brussels? No Brussels on here. It's one I use for like dabbing on waxes and stuff, and it wasn't a brush designed for that, so it is really truly gone. Okay, now I'm gonna hold this end and get the end of my brush. Would you do that with resin? Yeah, because it's like a plastic base. If you use gesso first, so gesso has a chalky quality. It's going to give a smooth, but also has a little bit of grit in it. So things will stick a lot easier. If you try to paint or wax straight onto resin, it's quite difficult. But if you use gesso, you'll find that things go on a lot easier. With MDFs, it's not as bad because they're wood, they're already smooth, but with that same kind of gritty texture, so it's not always as bad. But then woods can have a darker natural colour, so then the colour may show through. So just see what works best for you. But yeah, I would recommend, and it just stops you wasting as much. Gesso is relatively cheap in comparison to, say, waxes and paints, so you'll save yourself a bit of money doing that. Okay, so that's kind of got a base coverage. So now I'm going to get paint. Actually, shall we do... Oh dear, this jar is really dirty, isn't it? Let's get rid of that. Naughty me. Should we do it in a shiny black paint to give it a bit of something? So I don't know how this jar is. It's very old. I didn't look after it very well. So I'll use Sparks, acrylic Sparks paint in Raven. So these are, again, very pigmented paints, but with lots of shimmer in them. Now this one is very, very badly abused by me. So it does not look like this when you get it. So straight away, can you see that shimmer? See how shiny that is? So this is going to be pretty, seeing as it's a butterfly. We'll make it a little bit special. And now you can see as well how easy the paint is going on because we've got that gesso layer. Let's dry that bit. They dry very quickly, these paints too. Okay, and I'll flip around. So this is how the paint should look. This is actually an older one as well, so it has thickened up a little bit. So every time, obviously, we're opening a jar, we're letting in air. So, and these are water-based products, so everything like that is going to dry out slightly. So what you can do to help is keep excess off the edges to allow the jar to shut properly. You can add a couple of spritz of water in before you close it, and there seems to be that if you keep jars upside down, it helps a lot as well. I guess because all the product is compacted to the bottom, maybe, I don't know, so less air is sort of flowing around. I don't know, but it does seem to work. I don't know why that is technically. So there's some little tips for you, but definitely keeping the jar clean so that the lid can go on nice and tight, and get the lid back on as soon as possible. So don't have it open if you're going to be using that paint for hours on end. Keep shutting it. Help make them last. Right, just give my hands a little clean. Right, so do we want to add any colour to this? So I think we will. It is a butterfly. After all, they're usually quite colourful. It's not a moth. So I just throw it across the floor. Oh, that blasted word again, AD. I've got a word on the side to put on my canvas and it keeps getting lost. It's determined it doesn't want to go on. So as I've got that matte medium out, I'll use that. I nearly used my painted paintbrush now. I'll just pop a bit onto the surface here so that it doesn't soak in too much. Got a bit carried away there. Let's just wipe that up. Right, dry that. If you get this curving, you can flip it over and heat from the other side. That often helps. I'd actually like to purposely make it curl a little bit so we can have a more animated looking butterfly. There we go. And I'm going to use some magic paint in rose with gold. So this is Fabric Decor that we stock. I love these. So if you're familiar with Brushos or Lindy's, it's a similar concept. They are two-tone, so you get a flat base colour. So in this one, that's the red, and then a metallic overtone, so the gold. And we just spritz those with water. And we can move this around. So they're very, very pigmented, dry paints that we reactivate with water. Okay, so let's start to dry this. Being careful holding it, not to burn myself. So hopefully you can see that shimmer. So we're going to build our butterfly now. I think I'll stick it over this bit in the middle. I'll use it's only paper, but I am sticking it to something a bit uneven, so I'll use my gloss gel, my 3D gel. It doesn't need to be gloss, just the 3D gel. Okay, oops. And just pushing that onto there. Oops, my hand is a little sticky. Just gonna heat set that a little bit, just so we get that instant cling. And when I stick the brush to the canvas, I think I'll use the heavy body gel because it is an awkward shape, it's quite long, and just to be sure it's not heavy. So the 3D gel will probably work, but just to be sure, I'll do the heavy gel. So let's bring my canvas back. I will curl those wings back around when it's dried a bit more. So I'm going to have this off center slightly, I think. Okay, somewhere there. So let's get the heavy gel. So I will flip this over, pat some bits of gel on the back there. So I'm just there we go. And I will just scoop up some of the excess. This will dry clear, so I'm not too worried, but I will just get rid of a little bit so we don't get those lumpy bits. There we go. That will take probably the rest of the day to fully dry, or maybe even till tomorrow's, but as long as we're careful not to knock it too bad. I'll just give it a quick blast as well. Thanks, Jane. To give it a bit of extra hold while we're working on the rest of our canvas. Okay, Right, so really we're on to decorating now. So let's have a think. So I'd like to colour this a little bit. I'm going to add some of this magic paint to the background as well. So I want to colour that moth, so we get rid of that rice paper natural colour, and I'll just add some bits around as well to tie it in with the rest of the canvas. And just get a little paintbrush to move this around where I want it. I want to fully cover that butterfly. Moth rather. Just wanting to colour the natural rice paper colour. There we go. Okay, pretty. And get that other magic paint going. So remember that we've already prepped our surface. We had that matte gel on. So we can colour all these white bits of our paper now. We could leave some white, it's entirely up to you. Might like that that's contrasting. I just want to tone it down slightly. I'm remembering that a lot of this is on paper. If we don't want to get it too wet, else we're going to start damaging the integrity of the paper. So if we need to stop and dry, we can. Okay, I think that's fine. So let's dry that now. I was thinking to do some stamping on here, but I think it's already quite busy. I don't think we need any more going on in the background. So we've got lots of embellishing to do yet. So I think that'll do for our background on this occasion. I was going to do some black embossing, but no, I don't think it needs it. And we've got to remember we still need to bring in our everyday. I have used an everyday object, so my paintbrush, that's an everyday object for me anyway. Don't know about you. But I have got my word everyday as well. I've got some quite large wording I want to use, so I might add that next so I don't forget to leave space for it. And work everything else around that. I like how the spots are showing quite prominent through that. That's really cool. You can see we've got a much more nice finish to that rice paper now. And you see how much softer that looks in comparison to the torn paper. It's much more transparent looking. Just get this black paint off my finger. Right, so embellishing. So I was going to use those words. So I've got explore. And then I've got everyday, these really old foam stickers I've got. I think that maybe should go here. So let's have a look how it's going to fit. Bring all the letters in. See what we think. Oh, have I lost an E? Oh, there it is. Every day. Oh, ever day. No, every day. You've missed the letter. I'm having one of those moments where is every day 2 words or 1 word? Is every day 1 word or 2 word? 1 word. When you have that minute where you just can't think how to spell something. Right, it's quite a long word, so we might need to bring it down, I think. Oh, don't you get stuck under there. Come off. Oh no, it's going under. Get out, get out. I think it's going to need to be down here. Every day. Could even be like this. Every day. Okay. Yeah, and I'm probably going to colour a little bit over those. They're fairly sticky, but they're quite old, so I'm going to add a little bit of my gel to the backs of these. So this red is quite vibrant. I think I will tone that a little bit down. How is everyone, by the way? Oh, thanks, Mum. Hope you're all good. Getting into some kind of routine now, hopefully, or you're perhaps still working like us. I only, well, say part-time, but it's 30 hours. I work 30 hours in my day-to-day job, so I'm only doing that job now because this is closed for now. So I'm trying to fill my time with lots of crafting, keeping in touch with people, doing all these little challenges, trying to do other little events. Like we tried to do bingo last night, but Facebook let us down, so we will have another bash at that tonight. Trying to catch up with boring things like accounts, planning new stock and kits with our Kit and Caboodle collab with Hobbylicious and lovely Kasha. Right, every day, that's going to go there. We'll bring our Explore over here maybe. So again, this is thicker, those, what's that stuff there? Those like epoxy, I don't know if that's the right word, like the glossy enamel type one. So this definitely needs something to stick it on. We'll have that going out off there, I think. Yeah, that's going to go out there. So that's our words. That's my everyday and my everyday object. No, every day it is, not each day. It's every day, every day, every day. I'm saying it weird, that's probably why I'm making myself confused. Every day. Okay. Then I've got from the same these little leaves and a bird I might use. After all that, I don't think I'm going to use the Let's Go that kept trying to run away. See, it was trying to tell me not to use it because I think there's too much going on with the words already. So I've got lots of other embellishments we'll probably work up here with. So I've got things like flowers, some metal flowers. Some feathers. So let's start to build a composition and then we can look at sticking it down. going to put, let's put the lid back on this for now. I'm just going to put some weight on top of that word because they are quite awkward to stick those. Is that totally blocking everything? Hopefully not. It is for me actually. Let me get a smaller pot. Let's put this on here. There we go. So I've got this little heart. There's a smaller one. Where did the smaller one go? Hiding somewhere. I did have a smaller heart. I thought. Oh, there it is. Could have that poking out. What else have we got? This nice leaf. So I've got a mixture of Finnabair mechanicals, some Prima flowers. That's a Prima feather. I don't want to cover too much of this up. Let's move that now. Okay, that's quite a lot going on already. I don't think we want too much more. So we're going to start to wind this down now. Okay, I think that looks nice. Could use the bird. Thank you, Auntie Carol. I quite like that sort of sticks out actually. I might use these. I think we want something around the butterfly. Let's have a look what we've got. Got some more of these leaves we could have poking out from there. We're nearly there, folks. Ooh, pull that off. We could have a little flower there. Got this flower. We can bounce and have the same up here. Okay, I think that looks good. So we just need to stick this all down. Do we want to add a black flower in there as well? Yeah, we could add that in. And a skinny one in there. Lovely. Right, so let's get this all stuck down and any finishing touches we need to do. So if I lay this back off onto my mat in some sort of same order so I can remember where it went. If you are able to use your phone, take a little picture. That will make it much easier. So let me start with the bits around the butterfly. Oops. I can use my 3D gel here. Hi Shemaine. I would not use the matte gel. That's very thin and some of these are awkward shapes. So I want something I can rely on to stick here. Any excess we can just wipe that off. Ouch. Ooh. Ouch, we're just listening to it's like a fake claims thing saying about hitting a Ferrari, and it wasn't that bad, but it cost 23,000 in repairs. Like, oh yeah, that's alright then, not bad. Yeah, don't hit a Ferrari, people. That's not a good car to hit. Oh, thank you. Right, so I'm trying to sort of tuck into this butterfly, not covering the butterflies. We don't want to lose that. And I can concentrate the glue under the butterfly, so I've got good contact there. And we need to stick this bird on. Let's stick him on. I like the white of that, like a little bit of contrast against all this colour. Right, so let's go back to this cluster over here. So I'm going to use this big flower. And that had this black flower sat inside it. So I'm just popping bits on. Where it's bulkier or a funny shape, I'm using a bit extra, being generous. And we've got this feather. Yeah, I like red at the moment. I read into that what you wish. Red is a colour of passion. That can be read two ways, I suppose, like love, or it could be anger, I suppose. I'm not angry. I don't know, yeah. It's a colour of romance, but of passion as well. So it can be both ways. It can be passionate in different ways. Let me remember. Did I use this? No, I don't think so. I moved it all. Right, I think I had a red flower up here. Yeah, let's have those two there. Ah, thank you. Ferrari will have to learn to behave. Well, as it turns out, it seems like it was the Ferrari that was being naughty. It wasn't the other driver. It was his fault, and he was trying to get money out of the other person. Naughty. Oh, we had this heart here, didn't we? That's going there. This one was tucking in here somewhere, wasn't it? That's going to go in there. That's going to go in there. This little one in there. Okay, I think that's the bulk of everything done. We could add a little sprinkle of this on the top of those flowers, just to tie that in with the gold look. Okay, just going to wipe the middle of that flower out. Okay, and I need to do something with this. I don't like this colour. Let's see. Let me close my pot for a moment. It's Thompson's Craft Supplies. So it's the same name. Thompson's without a dash. Craft Supplies. Let's use let's use a wax, see how that takes to it. So this is red amber. Thanks, Sarah. Red amber antique wax by Prima. I'm going to just, yeah, that's toning it down a little bit. So it's not going to be shiny on here because I'm putting it on, well, it's a little bit shiny. Oops, that one wasn't quite stuck. It's not going to really glow because I'm putting it on a furry, fuzzy kind of surface. Whoops. Okay, let's put a little bit more gel on that one. That one's trying to jump off again. It's because it's sat on top of that stenciling, so it's a bit unsteady. There we go. Let's just tone that down a little bit. That's a bit better. It's better for me. Okay. I don't think we need an awful lot else. I've got some waxes, so let's go with some touches of waxes in areas. I'll carry on with this one that I'm using, red amber. Oh, who's laughing at me? Am I being silly? Oop, yeah, I just stuck my fingernail in that. So I'm going around the edge of the canvas, pulling it in slightly. We could go over little bits of that stenciling. Oop, I don't want it on my bird. We can go onto this side. See where I said when we added that matte medium on before, it's going to go much easier onto that bumpy surface. Carefully go onto these leaves, carefully, because they are not dry yet. That's it. Right, so I think we are done, everyone. So here is my More Than Words challenge for, what month are we in now? April it'll be, I think. Yeah, that happens. Bits come off. Or in fact, sometimes if I get to stick stuff down, I'll pick it up. And then, oh, I didn't stick that bit down. So my More Than Words challenge, I think it's April challenge now. So this is every day with birds and bugs. It can be birds or bugs. With the main challenge, you can make any craft at all. So I've done a wood slice / canvas, whatever you'd like to call it. We've gone with red tone. You can use any tones that you want. I've gone with a naturey sort of feel. I've also used everyday in using an everyday object. My birds and bugs, I got moth, butterfly, bird, another bird down here. Gone with florals, naturey kind of feel for the rest. I hope you enjoyed it, and do pop over to their page and give their challenge a go. They give away some fantastic prizes, and I think actually we are a sponsor of this month's challenge, so you could even win something from us. And stop laughing at me. I actually didn't do anything too much wrong today. Normally much more things go wrong than that. So give their challenge a go. We've got some other challenges on our group as well. We've got Ali's Green Challenge going on the group at the moment, where you can win a little prize. It is the first today, so actually I will be posting a new challenge, our bi-monthly challenge, where you can win a voucher for our website when it's reopened to use. Don't worry, we'll give you a good date on that. And pop around some other challenges. So I like to use Art Daily Cafe, Finnabears, Marta, Miramis Small Art has some great challenges. There's some loads of great groups out there. So the More Than Words challenge, loads. Prima has other ones. Have a look around on Facebook, on the internet, people's blogs, Pinterest. There's loads of things to get you going in this time, so give some a go. Really good way to break a dry spell of crafting and keep you busy. So I'll see you again soon, everyone. Thank you for watching. Bye.